Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, where everything you're about to hear and see has been done in one take. I'm your host, the One Take Man. For today's video, as you can see, I am on Wikipedia's article on the 96th Academy Awards, also known as the Oscars. and yeah, I thought I would take a look at the nominees and predict who is going to win. I have to say, unlike last year's video where I did, where I did something similar, I did actually look into some of the, into some other awards that were, that were given out within the season, only to find out that they aren't actually given out, or have not been given out at the time of this recording. Or okay, plenty of them haven't, but some have. And regardless, I thought could still look at the nominees and maybe get an idea on on what to expect. And as such, I have seen a few things. I have gathered a few ideas, conclusions, and I thought I would go through them now and sort of respond to the nominations as they show up, and say who I think is going to win. Though I have to say I'm a little bit I'm a little bit out of touch when it comes to the movie industry. Regardless, pushing ahead to the to this little table here, we got Best Picture. We got American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. Yeah. I'm gonna have to look around a little bit. American Fiction is comedy drama based on Erasure. The film follows a frustrated novelist professor who writes. Okay, yeah. Anatomy of a Fall. French legal drama thriller film. Okay. If this is nominated in the foreign films category as well, then it's absolutely going to win if it's nominated for Best Picture. Barbie, Barbie isn't going to win this. It might win some, technical awards, and maybe if it's lucky, like an there's a fire truck driving by. I'm gonna hold on a bit until it goes. Go. Okay. Now, as I was saying, Barbie isn't gonna win it. While I think it's gonna win some, some technical or secondary awards, but it's not going to win any of the. It's not going to win any of the main awards because, to put it frankly, it is not that deep a movie. And if you look at it, and if I remember correctly, the some of the initial reception it received, yeah, that's really not all surprising. There are quite a few things that could have touched upon, but it might be the most memorable of the previous year and of the list mentioned here, but it's it's not going to win. I'm sorry that disappoints some certain people. What about the holdovers? A Christmas movie? For real? Okay. Then we got Killers of the Flower Moon. Western? Really? Based on a non-fiction book. Oh, it's historical as well. That's nice. Maestro. It's a biopic based on Leonard Bernstein. Okay. Oppenheimer doesn't need any introduction, let's be honest. Past Lives. Two childhood friends over the course of 24 years. Oh. Okay, this is this is interesting. Though for some reason I doubt it. Poor Things. Stars La La La. Based on a novel. Follows La La La. Okay, Zone of Interest. Loosely based on historical drama. Oh, that's why it's a poppy seed? Or a poppy flower? I don't know. To be honest, of these, from this selection, I think Maestro might have an interesting shot because it has a lot of big names attached to it, Bradley Cooper and Steven Spielberg. But in all honesty, this is very much Oppenheimer's to win. I mean, think about it. It's a First of all, it's a historical drama made by a director with at least 10 years of proven success, and it is as accurate to the events it portrays as is technically possible. These three criteria also apply to Titanic. And not to mention the basic plot of Oppenheimer is that he is being investigated by the House of Un-American Activities, which is something Hollywood has had something of a history with. If I'm not mistaken, they also get some either them or an association like them also shows up in The Shape of Water, and guess what? Shape of Water won Best Picture. So I'm pretty much sure that Oppenheimer is going to win Best Picture here. Next up, we've got for Best Director Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, and Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest. Okay. While I did say that I did say Oppenheimer is going to win Best Picture, and most of the time whoever wins Best Picture also wins Best Director, but I don't think Nolan's going to really win Best Director here because I know enough about the movie to know that the pacing has been very heavily criticized, and while the presentation might be interesting in how vast it is, I don't think it. I'm not necessarily sure if it's visually striking enough to where it would get her that attention. Then again, I'm not really sure any movie is really visually striking enough to land that level of attention. My money goes on Scorsese simply because it's the name value recognition. It's fucking Scorsese. Also, with superhero movies going down and him being one of the first voices to criticize them, I think, I think while the industry might not like that, the Academy, the artistic side of the side of movie making might be a little bit more amenable to him. Okay, next up we've got for Best Actor, we got Bradley Cooper as Leonard Bernstein, we got Coleman Domingo as Baird Rustin, a biopic about a civil rights leader. And we got Paul Giamatti. Yeah, okay. There's Cillian Murphy as Oppenheimer, and then there's Jeffrey Wright as. Oh wait, it's about Thelonious Monk. Yeah. Oh, okay, Thelonious Monk Ellis. Hmm. This one is actually kind of tricky because I can very easily see a good argument for all of them. Like Killian has been putting in his dues within Hollywood. He has consistently given maybe not the best performances possible, but he is overall good quality. So when you hire him, you're gonna get something good, and also I think Nolan knows how to work well with him. So he might give it a good shot, but honestly, my money is on Maestro. My money is on Bradley Cooper winning it because Leonard Bernstein is very much has very much been a beloved figure while he was alive, and if Bradley Cooper is here, that means he's done. That means he hasn't fucked it up. So if he hasn't fucked it up, it's definitely going for him. So my vote goes to Bradley Cooper. Meanwhile, in Best Actress, we've got Annette Bening for role as Diana Nyad. Got Lily Gladstone for her role in Killers of the Flower Moon. Got Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall. And then we got Carey Mulligan as Felicia Montealegre. Then Emma Stone as Bella Baxter. My money goes on Lily Gladstone. remember what I said about some of the previous awards I've checked out? Yeah, she's won. She's won some of those. And also, given she is the first Native American to be nominated, I'm relatively certain that will count in that direction. Especially when one considers that Hollywood is kind of in the stage of uh, making amends for historical discrimination. I I'm relatively convinced that she is the one who will, uh, who will walk out of this with the the little figure next to her. Next up, we've got Best Supporting Actor: Sterling K. Brown for as Clifford Ellison for American Fiction. We got Robert De Niro as William King Hale for Killers of the Flower Moon. There's Robert Downey Jr. as Lewis Strauss in Oppenheimer. There's Ryan Gosling as Ken in Barbie. And then there's Mark Ruffalo as Duncan Winterburn in Poor Things. As of the time of this video's recording, the main controversy around the Academy Awards is the fact that Ryan Gosling was nominated, but was nominated for acting, but Margot Robbie wasn't, and also Greta Gerwig wasn't nominated for Best Director. To the people who think they should have a nomination, I would like to ask which of the people who were nominated do you think should be kicked out? Once you have an answer to that, come back to me. Anyway, while there's a lot of buzz around Gosling, specifically because of that, I don't think he's going to win. My money is on Robert Downey Jr. Winning this, because he's been Iron Man for quite a while, and now I think he is in a good position to break out of that mold that he was placed in. And I think a win as Oppenheimer would make for an interesting development. And actually, the Academy would have no reason to really reward him, but I think he has seized upon. But I think he knows that this is an opportunity for him to seize, and I think he has seized it. I'm pretty sure he won at least one more award for this role, so it's likely he'll win it for this one as well. Next up, we've got Best Supporting Actress. We got Emily Blunt as Kitty Oppenheimer. We got Danielle Brooks as Sophia in The Color Purple. I think Oprah Winfrey was actually nominated for this role for the original. Then we got America Ferrera as Gloria for Barbie. Then there's Jodie Foster. She's still active somehow. And Divine Joy Randolph as Mary Lamb. Well, some of the people who pointed out that Margot Robbie should have been nominated have pointed out that it's good that America Ferrera got nominated for her role. But really, outside of that one speech of hers that I'm sure you've all seen, that she gives in the movie, I'm not really sure any other part of her performance really stands out to the extent that it really should. My money for who wins this really goes to Emily Blunt, because she has the history, and I think she has a role of the size that would allow her to flex her chops. And also, I think I mentioned this last year. The Academy Awards aren't really about rewarding a singular performance, but more about an entire career. And I think Emily Blunt has the back catalog to really justify this award. Next up, for Best Original Screenplay, we got Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May December, never heard of it, and Past Lives. Honestly, well, Maestro isn't gonna get it because it's a biopic. Life happens. May December, I've never heard of it. Based on a story by, loosely inspired by a scandal. It stars. Okay. Anyway, we got Anatomy of a Fall, and I really think it's gonna be between these two, and I think Past Lives is going to get it, because looking at the premise, I think it is a little bit more intriguing, a little bit more out there, and therefore it will be more interesting for the a little bit more interesting. It'll capture more of the attention of the Academy, and that is why I think that's going to get nominated. Next up, we've got Best Adapted Screenplay: American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. This is an interesting one. I don't think Barbie's gonna get it because it's still a very grounded, very simple movie, and even though it does actually use its premise quite well, uh, I don't really think it does so. It really comes up with anything that is that is really groundbreaking or that really stands out compared to any of the other nominees. Oppenheimer, again, it's based on a biography. Life happens. There's nothing really, there's and it might be interesting, but it's not. But again, it's not something that is particularly that particularly demonstrates an elevated level of skill. Um, my vote goes to Poor Things. I'm not exactly sure what that novel consists of, but given the buzz the novel it's based on consists of, actually let's look at a little bit. Poor Things, episodes from the early life of la 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 la. It won the Whitbread Award for the Guardian Fiction Prize. Okay, that tells me that tells me very little. But still, if they were to take if they were to take a collection of short stories and make it into a coherent and captivating screenplay, yeah, I think Poor Things gets it. Next up, we've got Best Animated Feature: The Boy and the Heron, Hayao Miyazaki's last movie. Then we got Elemental, the token Pixar representation. Nimona, the movie I've never heard of. Robot Dreams, another movie I've never heard of. Let's look at it. American Science Fantasy Adventure Comedy Drama, directed by. Okay, I think I've actually seen illustrations about this, or maybe it's based, or maybe from the graphic novel. Let's see. Robot Dreams. Looks looks like this. Yeah, not sure. And then there's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is very much the box office award. This is one that this is one I think a lot of people want to get simply because they've seen the Spider-Verse movies and are are very much interested and fascinated by them. But honestly, my money goes to The Boy and the Heron. Like, it's Hayao Miyazaki's last movie. If it still fits within that style, that little ache of it being his last will really push it over the edge and and make it stand out for the Academy and make it the winner. Next up, Best International Film, we have Io Capitano. Doesn't say anything. We got Perfect Days, drama directed by Wim Wenders. 4 short stories. Okay. Society of the Snow, survival thriller, centered around the Uruguayan Andes flight disaster. I've actually seen a little documentary about it once. Then we got The Teacher's Lounge, German drama directed by a man with a Turkish name. Okay, and The Zone of Interest. Well, if this is nominated for the best picture, if it's not going to win that, it's going to win this. Like, apologies to everything else. This movie has already been highlighted to a greater category. So yeah, Zone of Interest very much takes it. I really think this category should be replaced with I don't know, best foreign language film. It would be more it would be a more balanced from a competitive standpoint in that sense. Anyway, moving up, best documentary feature: Bobby Wine, The People's President. Ugandan British American chronicles the presidential campaign of a Ugandan singer. Okay. The Eternal Memory, about a Chilean journalist and an actress. Okay. Then we got Four Daughters. What is this about? Arabic language documentary film. After two daughters of a Tunisian mother disappeared, the filmmaker invites. Oh, this is gonna be messy. To Kill a Tiger. Centers on a family in who are campaigning for justice after their. Yeah. Okay, and then 20 Days in Mariupol. Honestly, my money goes on this. Like these other movies might be might be interesting, but uh, but I think the Academy will really go for the will really go for the war piece. That is because that is something that is one issue where where in general the idea of being of the power of cinema, and I think this piece perhaps more than all the others really exemplifies that, and it is something they would want to see, and that is something they would also award. So this is what I say. This is what I say will win. Next up, best documentary short film: The ABCs of Book Banning. Haven't seen it. The Barber of Little Rock. Okay. Island in Between. The Last Repair Shop. And I'll totally butcher this. Nai and Y Pole. I have no idea what I just said. The Last Repair Shop. Short documentary. Barber of Little Rock. Short documentary. It's gonna be the ABCs of Book Banning. Hollywood is trying to maybe not Hollywood, but the Academy itself definitely tries to paint itself as the as a liberal bastion, even though even though Hollywood itself, through the fact that it is an industry and through the fact that it tries to make money, is very much a conservative institution and will reject new ideas simply for the sake of sticking to the proven. But still, the Academy, as I said, is a liberal counterpoint to that, and it will go for something that tackles a liberal topic, and in this sense, or rather the opposite, or rather, and in this sense, this book something that really polemicizes that aspect, whereas most conservatives just go, whatever, it's their state, they can do whatever, but. But here I think liberal. Here I think with the liberal point is it, and here I already mentioned the. I can't talk anymore. The point is this book talks about a talking point that is more of interest to a liberal institution such as the Academy, and for that it will give the Academy Award to this documentary. Next up, best live action short film: The After, Invincible, Night of Fortune, Red, White, and Blue, and The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. Oh, it's by Wes Anderson. Okay, this is interesting. Night of Fortune, Danish short drama. Invincible, short drama. I don't know. I think Wes Anderson has it. Like he's a he's a proven filmmaker, and also has a very distinctive style that is very much prone to draw plenty of attention. So, for my money, I think The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar is going to win this. Best animated short film: Letter to a Pig, 95 Senses, Our Uniform, Pachyderm, and War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko. I am very tempted to say that people will go by this simply because John and Yoko. Also, it's animated, so I'm pretty sure they can go into some pretty surreal, spectacular stuff. These other ones that don't have a Wikipedia article. Well, I think it's safe to say that they haven't really gained attraction to become noteworthy if they don't have a Wikipedia article. So, for that reason, I don't think they're gonna win. Also, Letter to a Pig. What is it about? And I guess it's about a girl and her pig. 95 Senses. Maybe it's some more surreal stuff. but still, if we got surreal against surreal, John and Yoko will definitely give the advantage. So my vote, my pick for this category is War is Over. Best original score. We got American Fiction, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Congratulations, John Williams, on extending your record, by the way. Killers of the Flower Moon. Oh, a posthumous nomination. Then we got Oppenheimer and Poor Things. I think this one is Oppenheimer's to win because Ludwig Göransson has by now proven himself to be a rising star in terms of composition. So it would very much be, unless he's, so I don't know if he's won already, but if not, then this could very much be his time. However, a posthumous nomination that might just be enough to push Killers of the Flower Moon over the edge. So yeah, it's gonna be slim, but I'm going for Robbie Robertson to win this. Best original song. We got The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot. Comedy drama. Oh, feature-length directorial debut of Eva Longoria. That's what she's doing now. Based on a memoir. Okay, then I'm Just Ken. Okay, It Never Went Away from American Symphony. Wajage from Killers of the Flower Moon. And What Was I Made For? Honestly, it's very interesting that I'm Just Ken has really been able to stand out to the extent that people remember it and recognize it and want to homage it. But in all honesty, this category is a one-horse race, and that horse is What Was I Made For? By Billie Eilish. It is not just a movie that it is not just a song that very much touches upon the topics and messaging that the movie itself is based on. It also is the kind of song that only Billie Eilish could play, as she moves from the child prodigy role to the blooming diva section of her life, and also this year she's come under some level of scrutiny because of her sexuality, and this slower, more introspective piece is very much tied into both the movie itself and the personal journey of the singer, and as such I really think that aspect very elevates it beyond all of the other nominees. So, cliche as it may be, my pick for this category is Billie Eilish. Next up, we've got Best Sound. On one hand, we got The Creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1. There's going to be a Dead Reckoning Part 2. Fuck, this franchise is going on forever. Oppenheimer and The Zone of Interest. Well, with Oppenheimer, I think the main point about this about its sound design is the detonation. So if that worked out and the rest of the movie is fine, then it's not really surprising that it got the nomination. But I don't think anything else will really put it over the edge. The Zone of Interest as a war movie does hold my attention. I kind of use the logic of, if it's a war movie and it sounds chaotic enough, then it's gonna win. When I made the last year's prediction for 1917, but I'm not sure Zone of Interest really is strong enough for that to that end. Mission Impossible, maybe. The Creator, what is it actually about? Science fiction action film, set in 2070. Yeah, so it's perhaps because there's a lot of stuff around, and all the stuff has its own distinctive sound. So that might be something that the Academy was interested intrigued in finding. For my money, however, this one goes to Maestro. This movie is very much about when you're dealing with a movie that is about someone who is a specialist within a given field, you really have to pay a strong level of attention to the given field, to making sure that it all comes across as effectively as it should. And given this movie has done its job in that sense, because it's nominated, I am I am quite certain that that it has also done enough to put it above all of the other all of the other movies here. So my pick for best sound is Maestro. Best production design. Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Somewhat interesting that this is the first time Napoleon came up, even though even though it was uh, big movie uh, directed by a very hard hitting name in Hollywood. But I guess his controversy about historical movies don't have to be historical has really kind of soured everyone's tastes, especially when one considers how many other movies that I think stick somewhat closer to the history have have received more nominations. Anyway, and anyway, I'm not going to talk about this too much further. This one's Barbie's. Like, it's just like it's in the bag. It's by default. This movie, the movie looks very fit for purpose in a way that I don't think any other movie nominated really does. So yeah, for that reason, I'll say Barbie wins. Also, it is visually very striking, very distinctive. I did say it would be the movie that most people would remember over the next 5 or 10 years. So, and the production design does something like 60 or 70% of that heavy lifting. So, for that reason, Barbie's my pick for production design. Cinematography, we've got El Conde, mentioned for the first time. Chilean black comedy horror. and there's a guy in a Nazi uniform. Oh. Chilean dictator as a... Oh. okay, this sounds funny. Anyway, moving ahead. Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. This one definitely goes to Oppenheimer, because there was a lot of talk about it not being shot digitally, but shot on film, because Nolan wanted to be as authentic to the time as possible. So I'm pretty sure that level of attention to the way this movie has been made will reward him. So Oppenheimer is my choice for best cinematography. Best makeup and hairstyling, we've got Golda, we got Maestro, we got Oppenheimer again, we got Poor Things, and Society of the Snow. What's Society of the Snow? Oh, yeah, the survival thriller film about the Uruguayan flight disaster. Golda, is this about a biographical drama about Golda Meir, fourth Prime Minister of Israel? Yeah. This is gonna be messy. I am somewhat afraid Golda is going to win this simply by default, because because Israel is in an armed conflict, and even if they are in the wrong, which they very much are, they the Academy might just awarded them anyway, simply because they want to showcase themselves as as liberal, as supporting the little guy, even though Israel is very much the bully in this scenario, or that might work against him. Who knows? Oppenheimer, I don't think is going to win it. It's perhaps accurate to the time, but I don't think it really stands out. Next up, there are two other historical picks, like Maestro and Society of the Snow. I have no clue what Poor Things looks like, but if overall, look at this poster actually, it's kind of surreal, kind of a little bit in, kind of dips a little bit into the uncanny valley, and if that is a consistent look that goes, throughout the entire movie, and the and the makeup and hairstyling is able to stick to that and present it that way, and I think Poor Things might just have this. This might be this might be my most out there prediction, but given it's been nominated for a whole bunch of other things, and I had it losing out on everything else, I think Poor Things will will get this one. We'll get makeup and hairstyling. Next up, best costume design. We got Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon. Oh, look at that. Second nomination for Napoleon. Oppenheimer and Poor Things. Again, I have to go with Barbie. Like one of the most distinctive things about Barbie dolls in general is the fact that you can dress them up in a wide variety of ways, and a Barbie movie does a good job at showcasing that variety of looks, and not just for the Barbies themselves, but also for the Kens as well. In general, I think that'll give Barbie the edge. So my pick for best costume design is Barbie. Next up, best film editing: Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. My vote goes to Anatomy of a Fall. Like, it's been nominated a whole bunch so far, and I haven't really given it anything. I'm gonna give it this. Everything else doesn't really. I don't know. Nothing about it really strikes me as something that would necessitate a high level of editing, and therefore something that would really stand out. But Anatomy of a Fall, I think holds the edge here. So that is my pick for best film editing. Next up, last but not least, best visual effects. The Creator, again, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, and Napoleon. This one is gonna be tricky. I have to confess I haven't really seen any of them, so trying to guess it, it's like I think Guardians of the Galaxy has it. Like of the Marvel movies that came out recently, or should I say this year, it was the one that made the least negative buzz. So I'm gonna assume that its story is overall functional, and that the visual effects therefore work very well in concert with that. So for that reason, I think Guardians has it. And that was the main talk of this video, but let me look at something else. Got Angela Bassett, okay, honorary award, Mel Brooks, and Carol Littleton. Well, good for them for getting the honorary awards. And then there's the humanitarian award, those are multiple nominations. Anyway, that's enough diddle daddle. I'm done. Those were the Academy Award nominations and my picks for who would win. Assuming you've made it this far, thank you for your attention. If you've enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed it, well then please like the video. Maybe even share it wherever you think other people will also like the video. If there is anything you'd like to add, either to the nominations themselves or to my picks for who will win, that's what the comment section is for. And if you want to see when my next video gets released, well then please subscribe. And ideally also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. I also have a main channel where I talk about book-related and literature topics, a link to which you can find in the description down below, right past my social media links, which I suggest you check out should you choose to. Additionally, you'll have the option of supporting me on Patreon, where depending on the level at which you pledge, you'll receive various perks. I can't say what these perks are right now because I'm currently in the middle of restructuring it. But you should be able to but I should be done with the restructuring by by the time this video gets published. So go ahead and check those out. Until next time, I have been the One Take Man.